10 reasons why Man United are the Premier League's comeback kings. Man United are regarded as the Premier League's comeback kings, and here are 10 reasons why this is so. Number 7 will shock you. Number 1, statistical dominance. Normally when any team is down by a goal, it's never a good sign, but for Man U, the story's different. Winning from trailing positions is almost a tradition for them. They've earned a reputation for defying the odds and pulling off dramatic comebacks. This feat has even led to some football fans making jokes about their title. This is not a made-up story. It is a cold hard fact, and the numbers speak for themselves. According to Opta, Manchester United holds the undisputed record for most wins after going 2 goals down, a testament to their fighting spirit etched in Premier League history. Take the 2023-24 season, for example. On December 26th, Aston Villa silenced the Theatre of Dreams with first-half strikes from John McGinn and Leander Dendoncker. 2-0 down, United spirits remained alive, and they once again showed the world the stuff they were made of in moments like this. Alejandro Garnacho emerged from the break determined to show his potential by netting a brace, reigniting United's hopes. Then, with the clock ticking down, newcomer Højlund opened his Premier League account, sealing another historic comeback victory for the Red Devils. And to think, in arguably one of their worst seasons, there are just a couple of examples filled with United's trademark comebacks, showcasing their unwavering resilience. So when any of their fans boast about it, just believe it. And just so you know, these comebacks aren't just a recent phenomenon. If you're familiar with the term Fergie time, you should know where I'm going next. Number 2, the legacy of Fergie time. Yeah, the stats are nice, but all the true magic of Manchester United lies beyond the numbers. It's a legacy woven into the very fabric of the club, passed down from the generations down to the era of Fergie time. Back in the day, under Sir Alex, United always seemed to get a miracle in those extra minutes. Although it really was more about Fergie's tactical nous than the extra minutes, but let's face it, the magical extra minutes did help. But more importantly, it was about the mindset he'd instill in his players. Under Ferguson, trailing with a few seconds to spare wasn't a moment to surrender despair, but a chance to rewrite the narrative. These weren't mere strokes of luck. They were testament to Ferguson's relentless pursuit of victory, a mentality he meticulously instilled in his players. Number 3, unbelievable mental strength. The mentality instilled in every player who signs of this great club is monstrous. In most matches, they play like they were forged through fire. Cristiano Ronaldo is the most obvious example, the mentality monster. To quote Mail Sport, Ronaldo takes his football very seriously, and winning even more seriously. This mental strength coursing through Manchester United players makes one think they signed them simply because they possess it. Every generation of player that has graced the Manchester shirt had a belief that anything's possible as long as there's still time on the clock. To them, it doesn't matter if there are 2 or 3 goals down, or even if the clock relentlessly ticks towards defeat. Doubt does not whisper in their ears. David Beckham showed this mentality in a 1998 clash against Leicester. Down 1 goal, Beckham curled in a jaw-dropping free kick from way out to left up at 90 minutes. This resilient mentality stayed with Beckham even at the national level, an identical result when England desperately needed to equality for the 2002 World Cup. For United, it's the refusal to accept defeat and the relentless pursuit of victory that fuels their comeback spirit. This mentality isn't just a motivational slogan, it's a core tenet of the club's identity, which usually rears its head in the second half. Number 4, second half specialists. Just like Real Madrid in Spain or Bayern in the Bundesliga, the best English team in the history of the Premier League knows their way back from a halftime deficit. No team does it better than them in the second half. They've developed a reputation for finding another gear entirely in the second half. In fact, let's take a trip down White Hart Lane. You must have heard of the infamous 2001 comeback against Tottenham, right? If you haven't, I'll tell you, but first, hit that subscribe button. The Reds were down by 3 goals at halftime, but they pillaged the odds and turned the whole story around in the second half. Before full time, the comeback was complete with a stunning 5-3 victory for United. This, of course, isn't the first instance when United found a way back in the second half, but that was one hell of a game. Another reason why they're so good is they have so much in-game experience. Number 5, experienced breeds. This is another key ingredient for Manchester United's comeback recipe. The Reds boasted a decorated history filled with veterans who've stared down pressure in the most intense matches imaginable. Imagine the electric atmosphere of the 2008 Champions League final with the weight of the world on your shoulders. For most players, such pressure would be crippling. But for United, it's like stepping into a familiar stage. They've been there, done that, and emerged victorious. They draw from their vast reservoir of experience and high-pressure situations, allowing them to make clear-headed decisions and execute winning plays when it truly matters. This composure is what separates them from the rest. It allows them to navigate the chaos of a comeback situation with a cool head and a winning mentality, a hallmark of true champions. But it is important to note that experience is nothing without the right attacking talents, and United is blessed with them in abundance. Number 6, attacking prowess for sudden shifts. Throughout their history, the club's defense might not have been the best in the Premier League, but their attack leaves a lot to be admired about them. They outrightly recruit a lineage of world-class attackers. I mean, players who can single-handedly alter the course of a game when it comes down to the wire. From players like Eric Cantona, the mercurial Frenchman, to the English Golden Boys Beckham and Rooney. Not to mention the one and only Cristiano Ronaldo, the Portuguese phenomenon whose relentless pursuit of winning is second to none. Or are we going to come down to the current crop of young talents like Garnacho? One thing they all share is a killer instinct and the ability to turn a match on its head in a single moment. Take, for example, Paul Pogba's inspired drama against Manchester City when they went from 2-0 to 3-2 in United's favor. But great players or not, Man U would be nothing without this inspiring piece. Number 7, the Phantom 12th Man, the fans. The influence of the 12th man is undeniable, and United's fan base has both numbers and energy. Given their history, they have fans that span generations. This has accumulated into one of the liveliest crowds in English football. Do you hear that? That doesn't sound like the cheers of supporters who came to see their team lose. Whenever the team's down, at Old Trafford or at the away stand, a ripple of energy starts in the stands. From a low hum to a deafening roar, it's the Red Army awakening and transforming into a stadium of chanting and spirited movements. At Old Trafford, with the passionate Red Army behind them, anything seems possible. It's a feeling of togetherness, a shared dream that transcends the game itself. These fans are the fuel to some of these comebacks. The way the crowd becomes a character itself, a relentless force that can turn the tide of a match, is something that drives the player. Until today, the story stands true. Speaking of stories, number 8, their squad's depth. Did you know that Manchester United in the Premier League is one of the teams that has benefited the most points thanks to goals scored by substitutes? Call me crazy, but this fact speaks volumes. A factor often underestimated by opponents is the quality and depth that resides on the bench. Think back just to 2020 when United were down by 2 goals to Southampton in halftime. Solskjaer looked to his bench and brought on the experience of Edinson Cavani. His cameo was the best thing to happen to the team in a while. Well, see for yourself. That was just one shining example of countless comebacks inspired by United's impactful substitutions. This tactical flexibility is one of their secret sauce. Another is the United spirit and the pride of the badge. Number 9, fighting for the badge, the United spirit. For United, there's always a glint of defiance in the player's eyes, a refusal to accept defeat. There's a fire that refused to be extinguished, a primal scream against the possibility of defeat. For them to surrender mentally before the final whistle is a disgrace, a betrayal of the badge they wear with such pride. And the very core of the club pulsates with the belief that every second is an honor to represent. So as long as there is a chance to unleash a surge of attacking power, a moment of brilliance that can rewrite the narrative, there is hope. This unwavering spirit, this never say die attitude, is the lifeblood of Manchester United. It's a relentless pursuit of victory etched into the DNA of every player. This is the spirit that Sir Alex Ferguson famously described in his Amazon documentary Never Give In. It's a mindset that started with their most dramatic comeback in history. Number 10, United's most legendary comeback. I feel at this point to show you the depth of their comeback history, we have to go way back to the dramatic climax of the 1999 Champions League final, to a night in Munich that announced their arrival as the true comeback kings. With seconds remaining, United were trailing to Bayern Munich by a goal that seemed destined for heartbreak. Yet at that moment, they defied the odds. Throughout United's history, there have been litters of such comebacks, but this one in particular sent shockwaves through the footballing world and solidified United's reputation for achieving the impossible. So which one of these moments was your favorite? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.